Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P-Funk Thinking Right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I'm going to wrap up this lesson in pursuit of happiness for you with two lessons: the purpose of adversity in life and where does true happiness come from. So you're going to get a twofer. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's continue. Right thinkers' mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life. That's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? So let's get there together. And I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Excuse me. A person who knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think is know thyself and to my yacht to be true. Let's start out with right thinkers. Let's talk about, do you know the purpose of adversity in life? Probably not. So we're going to talk about that. And then the question is, we're going to tell you, where does true happiness come from? Hopefully I can answer both those questions. Let's start with the first one, the purpose of adversities in life. Why is there adversities in life? Wouldn't it be nice if there was no misfortunes, no unluckiness to hamper your movement in life? Boring. Shouldn't God have created a perfect world? Yeah, he did. Human life abounds with what? Adversity. It's called the human experience. What may be adverse to one will be advantageous to another. Again, one man's treasures is another man's junk, so vice versa. But in life, that's what it's all about. But even the very rich experience adversity. Nobody, and my man John Henry Clark tell you, no exceptions. So it's a part of life. Deal with it. But the test is how you handle your adversities when they come to you in life. Let's learn how to do that. That's my goal, to get you how to deal with them. You can't prevent them. You can't stop them. You just got to learn how to deal with them when they come, and they're going to come. Let's go. In fact, what's this? No matter who you are, you will experience adversity of one form or another as you progress through what we call this game of life. Simple as that. No exceptions. Again, and this is an expression of cosmic justice, aka Maya. Balance means it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. You do this, cause and effect, you get that. You put in good, you get good out. You do bad, you will get bad back. Simple. Okay, that's the concept. And when it comes out of nowhere, it just happened nowhere. Not adversity. Deal with it. Adversity, watch this. Adversity is a divine messenger. What the? Yep. Imagine how your life would be if you could do anything you want. And some of us do just that, doing their life, and how'd that work out for them? Not too good. And watch this. When you can do anything you want to do, how, when, and what you wanted, okay, you would indulge what? In every pleasure and whim to your desire. You would only seek what? To satisfy your desires. Sound familiar? For what? Pleasures of the flesh. And you will not accomplish a damn thing significant in your life if all you want to do is zoom, 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 and boom, boom, okay? Shake your bum, all that good stuff. What happens? Then you would not grow spiritually. Simple. In the end, what happened? You would be frustrated. You would be disappointed. Why? Because no matter how hard you try, it is not possible to ever completely satisfy your desires for pleasures of the flesh. Simple as that. It's been known since forever. But like anything else, they still try. And all of them still fail. Moving on. If they said it wasn't good then, it ain't good now. Moving on. There's a concept. I see the clock. I got a lot of information I want to get through. So I'm going to slow the storytelling down and just keep the message coming out. So let's go. I'm reading. Adversity is, understand this, a form of resistance which life places on what? All human beings. For what? Here you go. The purpose of engendering in them what? A need to strive to what? Overcome your physical desires of your lower nature. There you go. That, and thus to now discover your higher self where? Within yourself. God is within you. Haru, set, the ego. Awakened consciousness. That's the difference, and they both are in you. Thanks to Maya, balance. You can serve your higher self, you can serve your lower self. Your choice. And guess what? Serving your higher self get you blessings. Serving your lower self get you karma. Move it on. Alright? That's the concept. And everything else don't make a difference. That's a simple fact. So you can dress it up any way you want. But watch this. When adversity is met, how? With the correct understanding, which is what? And having the right attitude, what happens then? It can become what? A great source of strength and spiritual inspiration. When we pray for something, and everybody do, how it feels when your prayer get answered? It motivates you, inspires you. Everybody promised God they firstborn, they left whatever it is to get whatever they want at the time they want it. Okay? But what do you do when you get it? And who do you pay homage and respect to? There you go. But how? Living right. Doing the things you need to do to impress him. That's what I do. I don't know about you. But watch this. So now, however, if adversity makes you ready? Now, this is the ignorant people. When they get into an adverse situation, it'll make them hard-hearted. Why? They think, they will become insensitive. They will be selfish. They will be cool and bitter. Then you will lead yourself. Again, this is every individual who handles it the wrong way due to their ignorance will do this. You will lead yourself what? Deeper into what they call a quagmire. Okay? Of what? Negativity and pain and suffering. Those are fetters. When you cause those things to yourself, who do you blame? You. So how do you deal with that? Adversities is what? You ready for this? That's God's way of calling your attention away from all the negative, nonsensical ways of your life and to what? Draw your attention toward the basic mysteries of life. Contacting him, asking for help in the time of need. That's what it's all about. But if you're not putting in no work, if you ain't stacking up them blessings, so to speak, and depositing in the God blessing counter, when you go to the ATM, God, in prayer, needing something, you can't get it. What? Insufficient funds. Remember that? Anybody who had a bank account know when you go to get something that ain't there, they're going to tell you, no can do. God the same way. They tell you prayer without the works, no can do. Same thing. It's dead. So understand that. When you're living right, you expect, that's faith. You walk by faith by what? Doing the things you know that's going to get you blessed. And that's how it's done. And when you do that, watch this. Often what happens? When people succeed in acquiring some object, watch this, they desire. Ooh, thank you, other thing. But then they forget all about, watch this, and they develop a conceit. They become vain, forget all about God, and they look down on others and feel proud of their accomplishments. Yeah, look, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I did this. All that grandstanding, and guess what? In the whole time, not realizing what? That their achievements will fulfill them only temporarily. Anything in this physical world is only temporary. Once you realize that, you ain't be for a whole bunch of nonsense, that's all. But however, there we go, when they lose, what they desire, how they act, they fall into what? The valley of adversity, and that leads to despair. They may be violent, but they definitely angry. Those are all lower nature, Satanian qualities that's in all of us. And if you let that run you, that's just what's going to take you. Understand that? I'm just trying to give you an understanding of how you should do or what you could do and how you do and see how it works. They blame who? Others. First thing right there. I ain't ever blamed nobody for what I did. Took responsibility every time. No matter who led me there, no matter who taught me there. But I always took responsibility for what I did. All right, he taught me that too. Now they blame others for what? Their misfortune. How could you do that? You did it, but you gonna blame somebody else. It don't work that way. That's the thing you need to realize within yourself. So you get better at that. That's another fill in your cap. Okay, and what happens? They seek to sometimes hurt others for their loss. Getting disrespectful because they're angry. Somebody say something to them or come at it wrong. They're looking for a reason to lash out. Those kind of people. Okay, it's human nature, but it needs to be controlled. That's all. I ain't saying no, just control it. This there, we all have it, but once you learn to control it, that's what self-mastery is all about. You controlling you. No matter what's going on around you, you find peace in chaos. Moving on. Many of those people who have experienced what? The most adversity in history, guess who it was? Will include saints and saints. Why is it that people who work for God and do God's work get the worst treatment? Sound familiar? What's this? And why should God allow those who are trying to be closer to the divine be plagued with adversity? The answer lies in an ancient Egyptian proverb. It says, adversity is the seed of well-doing. If you're doing good, something's going to happen. You're going to get blindsided. Simple as that. But if you're doing good, you must be doing something right. So watch this. And it is the nurse of heroism. You come to your own rescue. Boldness. And who that have enough will what? Endanger him or herself to what? Have more. That's greed right there. If you got it, and all you're going to do is what? Want more, and that's what it gets you. And they say, he who that is at ease will set their life on comfort. Man, you live a life to you good. That's the difference, okay? And that's the ancient Egyptian proverb that still holds true today. How about that? Rap going. So I got some more for you. Now, have you ever noticed, and this is this one watching what's going on somewhere else and not paying your own attention to yourself. Have you noticed that it seems as though the people who are most righteous, sound familiar, and deserving of prosperity are the ones who suffer the most in life? And you see it says, you notice, because if you're watching certain people, you wonder what's going on, but you ain't paying attention to yourself. That's the problem. If you see that in families, watch this. In families, the child who is the most obedient, guess what? The most attention and disciplinary control. People who were loving and compassionate, what happened? They suffer illnesses and pain from others. Nice people always get trampled on, okay? Like my man Joe said, like a floor, I've been walked on, okay? Nice people gonna get walked on. This is because, watch this, nature has been set up, watch this, as to provide for them opportunities. No, I missed the whole line. Oh, excuse me. This is because nature has been set up by God to create what? Situations which challenge human beings so as to what? Provide for them opportunities to what? To discover their inner resources, God, which give them what? The capacity to now overcome the troubles and thereby grow in discovery of what? Their deeper self, aka God. When God answers your prayer, you should have no more belief. You should have knowledge. You should know now. So now you can walk by faith. What? That God's going to take care of it. See the concept? I understand it. And those who suffer most, every coast to coast, sorry, I'm losing my superfly, but those who suffer most are the ignorant ones, are in reality, what's that? Those who are drawing more attention from the divine. Why? Because indeed they are chosen for more intense spiritual testing and training. I asked God, dude, if you gave me this impossible mission, why? Because all the stuff I went through to get this job proved to him that I'm built for it. That's why. And I ain't had a problem since. Why? I'm still on my grind. I ain't stopped. I'm still doing what I do for you. What happened now? And this is all training. The things I went to get here was all training so that when I get here, I can handle it. And this testing in life is a process of what? Nature, which allows every soul the opportunity to what? To face trouble with either boldness and faith, or with what? Fear and negativity due to their ignorance. If you have fear, you ain't got God with you. Why? Well, if you got God, you have no fear of nothing. The rewards of what? Adversity, when it's faced well, are increased strength of will and an increased feeling of what? Discovery of what? The divine within yourself. The inner peace and expansion, aka heaven. On earth, you are being rewarded while you're here for what? Doing the right thing. Where we at? Okay, that's considered heaven. When adversity, here you go, here's the other side. There's always two sides. My God, the flip side to that heaven, you know, is coming when adversity is faced, what? With negativity and ignorance. Right there, it what? It leads you to, you ready? Pain, sorrow, and more adverse situations, aka hell. We call it drama. They call it adversity. Why? You're going to have situations where they're going to check your chin, so to speak. Are you really down with God? First time God don't answer your prayer when you want it. Oh God, oh God. Really? Faith is knowing whatever situation you're in is going to work out in your favor. That's faith. Believing it's going to work out. Won't get it done. Why? Because you won't do nothing but just believe and hope it happens. Put the work in. Continue doing what you're doing. That's how it's done. Trust me. I know. Therefore, adversity cannot be understood and successfully faced with negativity. You can't let it get you angry. You can't show hatred. You can't become hard-heartedness, etc. Why? Because something bad happened to you, you want to just turn on the world. Don't work that way. But a lot of people do that. They explain it to you. Adversity can only be overcome. You ready? With wisdom. That's experience. And virtue. That's doing the right thing. And virtue is the first and the most important quality to be developed by all serious spiritual right thinking aspirants. If you're not virtuous at heart, this ain't gonna work for you. I can let you know before we get started. Some things that you ask people before we go. You understand what you're about to do? You understand what you? Okay, so when we start doing this, I don't want to hear. But nope, understand this is how it's done. So with virtue, without virtue, this ain't gonna work for you. I can tell you that before you get started. So from a mystical and spiritual point of view, what is considered to be prosperity by the masses or ignorant people is what in reality adversity. Oh, he doing good. He doing good. Okay, he just they keep watching. Okay, those are your haters pretty much. And what is considered, watch this, to be adversity by the masses is in reality prosperity. Why? Because the masses consider that becoming rich and being able to indulge in the pleasures of the senses, the body, flesh, doing your thing through food, drink, drugs, sex is the ultimate goal in life. If you are egotistical, if you are lower nature bound, yeah, but yet it is there anyone, excuse me, yet is there anyone who has what? Discovered true abiding peace and contentment even with billions of dollars and how much money you got? Having the opportunity to indulge in your sexual pleasures or your personal pleasures of the flesh creates what? Just an opportunity for what? The mind to become more dependent on what? The worldly pleasures. Once it starts, all you're going to do is want more. That's called greed. And this process, watch this, intensifies the egoistic feelings. Why? And draws the soul where? Away from discovering Hotep, which is supreme peace within oneself. You'll never gain peace within yourself. Thinking outside things are going to make you happy. That's why. And true peace within, that's where it comes from within, not out. There is increasing agitation, and you worry over what? Gaining what is desired. I gotta get it, gotta have rat race, chasing the tail, and the proverbial carrot. And then what? You preoccupation with what? How to hold on to it once you get it. Not realizing that what? All must be left behind when at the time of death anyway. You can't take nothing you get in this physical world with you in the next life. Understand that. People keep on seeking what? Worldly fame, fortune, and glory. And in the process, they never discover what? True happiness and peace. It's been proven time and time again. Just because they're rich and famous, they're not happy. And the ones who are don't do a whole bunch of hooting and rooting around outside of what they do. Those are the ones that find peace and contentment within themselves. They don't need a whole bunch of fanfare to be happy. Respect for them. They have duped what? Themselves. Those ignorant people who get that, they dupe themselves into what? Believing that material wealth brings happiness. How many people believe that? A whole lot. Why? Because the greedy corporations and media and popular culture reinforces this message. Nobody wants to be an ordinary person. Everybody wants to be rich and famous. But in reality, it's a philosophy of what? Ignorance. Why? Because it's based on lack of reflection, introspection for self, and no spiritual insight or material. So adversity is a call to what? Wake up from this delusion of things and possessions, of pain and sorrow when you lose them. And those who are experiencing what? The worst conditions are receiving the loudest call. Therefore, adversity is in reality prosperity because it stimulates the mind through what? Suffering through losses of things that you thought was valuable, thought meant something, so that now you may look for what? A higher vision of life, and now discover the abode of true happiness and peace, where and contentment that transcends all worldly things. Wrapping it up, taking it home, here you go. This exalted vision of life is the innate potential of what? Every human being. What is necessary is the dedication and the perseverance to what? Seek the higher understanding by living, doing, and being right to reach the divine nature of creation and the divine nature of what? The innermost self, where he dwells in the heart of man. And your inner higher self has what? The power to absorb and redeem all negativity. This is the highest goal of all human beings. The most difficult, and not just being the highest goal of all human beings, and is also the most difficult one as well. However, listen to this, as you gain greater understanding through the adversities, and you become greater, you have a greater will to what? Act with what? Virtue, no matter what. Doing the right thing, acting in accordance, no matter what. And your vision, third eye opening of the divine, will now what? Increase, and to draw you closer and closer to your higher self. And this is the glory of virtue, and it's The power to what? Has the power to vanquish and eradicate vices from your human heart. Meaning you becoming pure of heart. That's the goal. That's the lesson. That's my point. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 bodies today. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be back with let you know where does true happiness come from.